Hi, it's Cassie and welcome to a new video. I'm so excited for this project. We are going to use DuraBright White, also called opaque craft plastic from Grafix. This is the 12 by 12 version. They have different sizes, so check it out online wherever you buy Grafix products. I've also got my inking palette over here I'm going to work on, and then I have some Double Tack. I don't have the packaging for Double Tack, sorry about that, but Double Tack is just a double-sided adhesive with carrier sheet on either side, and it's a full sheet. So this is super handy for lots of different projects. I use it all the time for just, you know, projects like this and 3D stuff and things like that. So great stuff. I'm really excited. I'm going to show you the prototype of what we're going to make. We are making a journal, a little mini art journal. We're making it out of one sheet of 12 by 12 DuraBright, and I'm so excited to show you this. It's super easy and fun, and once you learn how to score and cut it and fold it up, you're going to make like a million of these because they're just so easy and fun, and they could be used for like a holiday or like a birthday or graduation, celebration, baby shower, that, you know, wedding, all sorts of things. It can also just be a random little mini art journal that you make. You know, sometimes I just want to make little mini art journals, and see, it's very cool. It's like an accordion fold, but then these two pieces here, I'll show you why this happens, but they end up being pockets. So this is also DuraBright. I just made it into a tag. I'll show you how to do that. And so I made a pocket here on the top, and then this one has a pocket on the side. And so once you decorate this and get it all done, you add your little fibers and close it up. You have little fibers or ribbon or whatever hanging from the top and the side. I can't wait to show you this. Okay, so we're going to use the one sheet of the 12 by 12 craft plastic, also called DuraBright. Okay, so we've got one sheet here. I've got my my inking palette over here. I might play with that a little bit. I'm really just going to create on top of here, and it's going to be like a glorious mess, okay, when we're done. So just get your art supplies out. I would love it if you created alongside me right now. I think that's the best. I know that this is recorded and we're not live, but man, it sure does feel cool when people share what they've made while they're watching my videos. So I just love that. I think it's super fun, and if you are up for it, I would say pause this video, go grab some art supplies, and make this with me. Even if you don't have the DuraBright, go get a piece of paper. If you have a 12 by 12 piece of paper, maybe white, or doesn't matter, any kind of color, or if you have like a big pad of mixed media paper or whatever, just go get it and start creating with me. But if you don't have DuraBright, go order some, because it is so much fun, and there's a million things you can do with it, and there's a million videos on YouTube, on Grafix channel, on my channel, what to do with it. So go order some. The link is in the description box below. You can go get yourself some DuraBright. You will not be sad, I promise. And it comes in black, white, and gray, so lots of choices for you. Okay, so let's get going. I'm very excited about this. So I've got a few different stencils. Let me show you what I've got. This one's really cool. It's like cool grid. I also like this one too because it has like the scallopy edge on the edge of it instead of just a straight line. That's a nice change. I have this one. This is from Joggles. I know that for sure. So this is 9 by 12, and this one is mine actually. This is 6 by 8, and these are just really fun graphic shapes. They're a little bit different, but I think they work nicely together. So we're just going to play together and see what we get. Okay, so actually I'm going to start with, let's start with this primary magenta, and I'll do this a few different ways so we can see different ways we can apply paint and use it with stencil. And I'm just going to put paint here and there, and then I've got my, but I have this catalyst wedge and I love it. It's a W06, so we're going to use that for a minute and just see what we get. So I'm just scraping paint around. The only thing I'm going to care about or be careful of is that I'm only going horizontal and vertical. I'm not going crisscross or anything like that. I just want to have some lines in here. I love this, like, look at this little smushy dot pattern down here. I love when that happens. So I'm trying to get some more of those. I'm going all the way to the edge of the paper because this is going to be our journal, okay? And so it'll make sense when we get to that point. But just if you're creating along with me, or maybe you're going to do it later, just, yeah, you want to cover this whole paper. You don't really want to have too much white space because we're going to cut this up and make it into that journal that I showed you. So very, very cool. I'm trying not to have too many like thick, super thick spots because I want it to dry faster because I'm impatient. But here we go. Okay, so now we're going to take my stencil. I'm going to gently set it down here. I don't want to mess with those dotty weird things going on. Those are really cool. I do have a baby wipe here, and so now I'm going to pull paint away from the areas where I want this stencil shape to show. So kind of around the edges. It really doesn't matter because, again, this is going to be folded up. So whatever is an edge right now will not necessarily, you know, that you are not going to see them all together in the end. So just keep that in mind. Don't be too particular with your layout or anything. Don't even really think about composition because, again, it's going to all get mixed up here in a minute. So I'm just putting some X's here and there, trying to make sure they're like a little bit everywhere. Okay, yeah. That looks really good to me. I don't want it everywhere. So let's pull this off and see what we've got. So good. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I love it already. Ooh, I love it. I love this weird dot thing that's going on right here. So I definitely didn't want to mess with that. So the important thing here is that you want to make sure that your layer is dry before you move to the next layer so you don't smudge and move stuff around too much. Okay, the next thing I want to do, I want to bring in some yellow with this grid, and I want to go right to the edges. So I'm going to have to move my stencil around a little bit to get all these edges. Let me make sure I'm in the screen here. So we're going to start on this top section, and then I'll move it down and we'll do the bottom. But I want to add some yellow, which I just have this little tube of yellow. It's primary yellow, and I've got a sponge. So I'm going to put some paint over here on my inking palette. This is also a Grafix product, by the way. Just really quick, I just want to show you, this is like sort of an acetate sheet, you know, it's so that, and it's clear, so it can be used just like I'm using it right now. I use it in a lot of different ways, but anyway. And then there's a piece of tissue in between. And also, when it's done, I peel it off to use the next inking palette, but I keep them and I use them in my journals as well. They're really fun to have. So just as an aside there, if you've not used or seen one of those before, I think they're super handy. And I have one at every craft station. You know, I have a few craft stations, so yeah, I can't live without it. So just something to be aware of and to notice. Okay, so I'm just going to go here and there, and I'm just adding some yellow. It's just going to be a nice little bright pop of color here and there, and these squares are pretty interesting, I think. I'm not on the edge here, and I want to be, so I'm going to fix that in a second here. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to lift. See, it just adds little pops of yellow here and there, and it's so bright and pretty. I especially love it with this darker pink color. And I want some more on this edge, so I need some more yellow. Okay, and then we'll line up our stencil. All right, and where it's overlapping, I'm getting a little bit of orange, which is kind of fun. It's like a tangerine-y kind of color. It's very bright and fun and happy, so that makes me happy. Okay, and then I'm going to, I don't mind that it's not totally dry. They're just little squares, and they're kind of, you know, translucent anyway. So I'm just having it, you know, to add some highlight and to add some brightness around here and there. So I don't care if it's particularly, you know, perfect or, you know, whatever. It just is what it is. I'm happy with it just the way it is, and I kind of like going around the edges with it. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. I feel like I have pretty good coverage. Okay, so I will dry this before I move on to the next thing. Okay, so next layer is going to be this awesome, I don't know, it looks like stained glass kind of flowers or something, really pretty. So again, I'm just kind of going everywhere, here and there, filling in some gaps and some spaces, and I'm going to use the turquoise green color that I have and another sponge because I want the actual pattern here and not the negative of it. So you get to decide how you do it. Okay, that looks good. And I'm just going here and there where I feel like it might be fun to have one of these little flowery things. And I don't even care if it's the full thing, you know, I'm just getting sort of the general shape. All right. Where I want to have a little bit of turquoise. Very, very cool. Okay, I'm going to move this up a little. Let's see. We'll do a little bit right here. And notice I'm just doing like random here and there. I'm not using even the whole stencil. It's totally fine. Okay, let's lift and see. Look at how beautiful, beautiful little bursts of turquoise here and there. It's so pretty. I'm very excited. Okay, we're going to keep going and do the other half of this now. And I'm just sort of paying attention to where I've done it before, so I have a little bit of spacing in between. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's get some in this corner. I kind of like it over here. And it's okay if it overlaps with other shapes that you've already done. Yeah, you want layers. You want it to overlap a little bit. It just makes it really, oh, look at that. Ooh, the magenta against that turquoise. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. I get real excited about colors. That's my favorite thing in the whole world. Okay. Yeah, I want to do in this corner, or just at least over here a little bit. And so the areas I'm doing, and I'm just making sure I get decent coverage, so I have that nice transition and contrast. But otherwise, that's it, you know? It's looking pretty good. Pretty good. I might do a tiny bit right here, just the teeny tiniest little bit. There, just like that. Okay, I love it so much. Oh, that's amazing. I'm so happy with this. This is going to be fantastic. Look at how bright and happy and joyful this is. This is what we need. We need lots of bright, joyful colors in our lives. The last combo I'm going to use here is the Quinn Rose Light and this my square stencil here. So I'm just putting some color down here and there. Okay, little bits here and there, and I'm going to move it around. Let's see, let's use a palette knife. All right, and so yeah, I'm covering up some of what I had before. That's okay. Don't be afraid to cover stuff up, okay? It's gonna be okay, I promise. It's gonna be okay. And I have a little bit more than, well, maybe not. Let's see. We'll do a little bit right here. I think this is probably pretty good. And then I'm going to take my stencil and my baby wipe and pull away the color. Okay. So there'll just be little bits of this pink left over. And I think that'll be fine. It'll look good. Okay. Ooh, it's leaving some white space. Okay, let's see what's going on. And now we've got some light pink in here too. And some of the spots where, let me see if I can show you a little bit closer. Like here where the paint was a little thicker and I pulled it up, you can see there's some texture, and that looks really cool. So this is looking super fabulous to me. So now I'm gonna dry this. I think I'm done with this side, but I need to do the same thing to the other side because this, if I bring my prototype back, you know, this book is double-sided, right? So we're going to see every piece of this DuraBright. So we need to do the same thing to the other side. So I'm just going to do it real quick. I'll probably speed up the video so you can still see what I'm doing. But it will be sped up, and I'm basically going to do some of the same techniques. I might change up the colors with the stencils and things like that just to make it a little different and interesting, but it'll be all the same colors. And the thing that I want to stress to you is if you're going to do this and you're covering both sides, I would recommend keeping the same color palette and the same shapes or stencils or stamps or whatever you're putting on here, just to have some cohesiveness between the two sides. But that's also totally up to you. If you have a different idea and you want to try it, go for it. I'm so excited for you. So let me dry this and let's flip it over and do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so both sides have been painted and they are nice and dry. So we are ready to start assembling. I'm so excited. I hope you are too. I hope that you've been creating along with me and you are ready to assemble. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is score. So get your scoring tool out, whatever tool you're using. And this is a 12 by 12. So if you're using a 12 by 12, you can use my dimensions. Otherwise, you might have to adjust based on whatever size paper or DuraBright or whatever you're using. Okay, so I'm basically just going to score this in thirds both ways. Okay, so since this is 12 by 12, I'm going to score at 4 and 8. So we have 3 4-inch sections going both ways. All right, so let's do that now. So I'm scoring at 4. I'm pressing kind of hard because this is a thicker material and we've got paint on it, and I want to make sure I can get a good impression and score line. Okay, so 4 and 8, we're scoring at both. No cutting yet, just scoring. Okay, and then we're gonna flip it 90 degrees and we're gonna do the same thing, 4 and 8. So then we're gonna be left with 9 4-inch squares on this lovely piece of DuraBright. Okay, so get good score lines. So it's hard to see, but we've got 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. So now we have like a nice little tic-tac-toe grid, right? Okay, so now the cutting comes in. You are going to cut down 2 of the squares, so 1 and 2, and you'll be able to on your own piece. You probably can't see it on mine, but you have horizontal score lines and your vertical score lines, right? So you're going to go from the 4-inch, from the first score line vertically. It doesn't matter which way you go, okay? But you only want to do it one way. So you're going to go from this first 4-inch score line, you're going to cut so that just a straight line, so that this flap will come up, but it's still attached from the bottom square. Okay, so you're going to stop at this horizontal score line here. Okay, so you're basically cutting down 8 inches. So let's do that real quick together. Okay, so I'm going to find my 4-inch line here. I know it might be hard for you to see on camera. I'm sorry about that, but you'll be able to tell on your own. And then we're going to cut down. There's 1 4-inch square and 2. All right. So now what we have is this flap here. Okay, it's still connected on the bottom. All right. Now what I want you to do is flip it over. So now this flap is in the lower left corner. You see that? And this side is all connected still. We're going to do the same thing over here. Cut down to the 8-inch mark so then you have another flap coming up this way, okay? So let's do that again. So we find our 4-inch mark and we cut down. There's 1 square and there's 2 squares. Okay, so now we have this crazy thing, 2 flaps going the opposite directions. That's all the cutting we're going to do. Can you believe that? The rest of this is just going to fold together. This is the easiest, funnest little journal that I've ever made, and I just love it so much because of how simple it is. Okay, so the next thing I want you to do is get a good bone folder out, especially with this DuraBright. It is thicker material and now it's got paint on it on both sides, so you do need a good burnisher. Okay, so now you're just going to start folding, and I want you to take your time here because you know, if you want it to, like this one, you know, the corners mostly line up, like they're a little bit off here, and that's okay. Also, remember that this is just like a little homemade journal, right? So don't be too hard on yourself. If they don't line up exactly, it's okay, but you want it to mostly line up and square up, right? So you just want to take your time and just make sure your corners line up, and then burnish. Okay, and you're just going to accordion fold. All right, so then we're going to go this way and make sure it lines up with this corner down here. Hopefully you can see me there. All right, and we're going to burnish. Okay, and then we're going to fold over. And we're just going to keep going, and you're going to do you're just going to do accordion fold all the way around. So just maybe watch this part. Watch me if you are making this as well. Take a minute, just watch what I'm doing here, and then it'll all make sense and you'll see, and then you can go and fold yours and just pause the video or something, okay? Gosh, I really hope you're making this. I'm so excited. Okay, so then, yep, find your next line. Make sure you're lined up. Burnish really well. And just keep going. Just keep flip and fold, all right? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I know I keep saying it, but I really am. This is so fun. And look at how the pages are coming out. I mean, it's so fun to see what pages you have in the end once you are done folding this. It's just really, really cool. Okay, and so, you know, if you're using a bigger piece of paper or DuraBright or whatever, you can, you know, you'll have different size pages. Or if you're using a smaller piece, what if you're doing 8 by 8? You'd have tiny little book. How cute would that be? Okay, let's see. I gotta see my score line here. Okay, that's good. So gonna just give it a good burnish. And then last one, and this one I'm just gonna make sure my corners line up at the end here. So you'll see it's not perfect, like it's not totally perfectly lined up, but it's pretty darn close. And I think it looks fantastic. So now, okay, so now you have this great book and you're like, oh, but it's wonky and what's going on? What do I do? Okay, so now what I want you to do is stand it up like this, okay? And you're gonna have a V and like, I guess a valley and a mountain, right? Because this is the two joins where we had to turn and go around. So this is where your pockets are going to be, okay? So where the V is, I want that to be on your left side. So I'm going to flip this over. Okay, so now can you see my whole piece here? And my V is first, and my valley is first, and my mountain is second, okay? I guess it doesn't really matter, but anyway, it actually doesn't matter which one comes first, but this is how I'm going to do it. So, okay. So what I want you to do with your V is you're going to fold it all up. You're going to put it flat like this, and you're going to get some really good tape, maybe some red liner tape, something a really strong adhesive. Okay. And we're making a pocket out of this, okay? So you only want to put adhesive on the sides. I'm doing it on both sides just to make sure it's really well adhered, but you do whatever works for you. Just don't put adhesive on the edges or else you'll close up your pocket, okay? And then we're just gonna fold it, make sure it lines up nice. I like to give it a good burnish just to make sure that adhesive is really sticking. And now, we have a pocket, okay? How cool is that, right? And then same thing for this one. Well, sort of, not exactly the same, because we want our pocket now to be on the side, okay? So when we open this up, we want to keep this edge free. So we're gonna put adhesive here and here, all right? And that is going to give us a pocket. So this one, the side pocket, you want to do an L adhesive, not on either side, okay? Because we want to make sure that this opening stays open. So again, you put your adhesive down, and I'm going to give it a burnish. And now when we open it up, let's find it. Okay, now we've got a pocket on the side. And so if I get my other, we'll make tags in a minute, but now you can see this pocket, or this tag goes on the side pocket, and this tag goes on the top pocket here. And so, and it doesn't matter, right? If you want your side pocket to be forward and your other one to be backward, or if you want it to be this way, it literally doesn't matter. But now you have pockets on both sides. All right, isn't that so cool? How easy is this? Oh my goodness. Okay, so now this is the fun part. Like, look at this. Look at all these cool pages that you have to work on. Now you can get your Posca pens out and doodle. You can stamp on here. You can journal. You can add collage images. You can do whatever, right? And you've got a double-sided book, basically. It's so easy and so fun. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. So I'm gonna cut out the tags, the pocket tags for you real quick. We'll do that next. All right, so our book is together, yay. Okay, I'm so excited. Okay, so now you are just gonna want a piece. Let's see, I didn't measure these, but I should have. Hold on. They're about 2 1/4 by 4. Okay, so this is 2 1/4 by 4. So let's get our cutter out. I just got some like scrap pieces of DuraBright. I don't throw anything away because I can use this for so many things. So I'm gonna go, let's see, make sure, I think, yeah, it's already 4 inches. You could make it even longer if you wanted to stick out more. But this is what I did. So we're gonna go 2 1/4 by 4, and I'll cut 2 of them. Okay, and I've got a little extra. And then you can do whatever you want for the top of your tag. If I'm going to use a punch and show you what I do. But if you don't have this punch, another way that I like to do it is, I'm not going to do it because I want to punch it out. But if you don't have a punch and you want to make a tag, I just fold over. Don't crease it, but fold it over till your points meet, and then just cut at an angle like this, and then you'll have even angle on either side to make a quick tag. So that's another way that I do it. But I have this really fun tag punch, and it punches like 3 different sizes of tags. And so I have it. I might as well use it, right? So I'm just going to line it up in the middle and punch it. And it even puts the hole and gives you a fun little border there. So that's what I'm doing. But again, you make your tag however you want. Okay, so now I've got 2 tags. And that one is a Crafter's Companion one. There are a few different brands that sell tag punches like that. So yeah, I'll try to link one in the description for you, but yeah, it's easy to find. So then these you would decorate, of course. So let's do it. Let's just decorate real quick and put them in our book. And then I'll show you a couple. I might decorate a page or 2 just to give you some ideas to get you going. And then you can go ahead and decorate your own and do your own thing. Okay, so I have some gel print pulls, like a stash of them. And how cool is this, right? I think I want to just cover instead of, like, you could just get your paint out and paint and do all the same things we just did. But I kind of just really like this, and I really kind of want to use it. So I think what I'm going to do is cut a strip so it matches the size of my tag. And I'm going to cover both of them this way so they match. And if I do this, fold it and cut again. All right, hear me out. This is gonna be cool. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Get this cut out. Okay, and then let's do a second one because I am gonna do them. What do I want? Yeah, this is cool. I'll just keep going with this. This is pretty good. So we'll just do it again, because I'm going to do both tags and I want to do both sides of the tag, right? So let's do this and then fold it over. I think to there should be good. Okay, just to make sure they're nice and straight. This is just an easy way to do this. I don't like to measure too much. I just like to wing it and go with the flow, you know. I don't know. So that's what I do. But anyway, so what I'm going to do now is fold this in half the other way so we can see the pattern side. Okay, and then hold on, let's do this one. Oh, I didn't cut that perfectly, but that's okay. And then I'm going to get my tag thing puncher back out, and let's just see what we get here. Okay. So now I've got a front and back for my tag, and it should match up pretty much exactly. Yeah, look at that. And then I can just glue it on. Now, I mean, this is great DuraBright, so you definitely could just create on the DuraBright, right? And that would be great. But a quick, if you want just a fun, quick way to do it, there we go. Now we've got a front and back cover for your tags. Okay, so so this is where we're going to get out our double tack. All right, so I am going to cut this down so it fits into the rectangle area of the paper. And so if you've never used double tack before, it's super awesome. It's very sturdy and strong adhesive, and it's just double-sided adhesive with carrier sheet on either side to protect it. So you just peel back one side and then you stick it down to whatever you're working, you know, you're gonna stick, and then peel up the other side of the carrier sheet, and now you've made your own little sticker. And now I am just going to line up the top pattern and the holes. Here we go. And it's a little bit off. I think I'm just gonna trim the base so it still lines up right, because I don't want to pull it off and try to do it again. So it's just a fun little tag for my journal. So remember, it doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, that looks fantastic. Look at how fun, and then we can create on top of it. Okay, so let's see all my 4 pieces. What pieces do I want to go? These all look fantastic. So we'll just do the same thing on the other side. I've got my other piece here. You just want to make sure you trim it down enough so that it's not sticking out of the edges. It's so sticky. So that's the only thing you need to think about here, and then just put it right in the middle. And I'm going to put another little half piece. Is this some? Yep. I love this double tack mounting film because you get to cut it or die cut it or do whatever to the exact size that you want it to be, you know. So that is really nice. Oops, I forgot to peel this backing off. So let's do that, and then put a smaller piece up here just to make sure we've got good coverage. There we go. So now we can put the other side down, and I'm going to line up the holes again. I think it's more important actually to line up the top where the holes are. So that looks good. And then there we go. So I'm going to trim this side. I have to trim it because remember I trimmed the other one. And there we've got a tag to go in our cute little book. And I'm going to do the same thing with this other one. Okay, so now I have 2 tags done, right? They have got art on both sides of them, so now you can doodle on them or write or journal or put a picture or whatever you want. So I'm just going to put them back in my book here so you can see how they look. Oh, and we need to add some fibers to them. Hold on, let me do that really quick, because that is you'll be able to see how that looks sticking out of the book, and that is really cool. I've got this sari ribbon here, and I just love it so much. And I just cut randomly out of it because I don't care. And I feel like that's, you know, there's so many different colors in there. And so I just pick the colors that feel good for me in the moment. And then I stick, I put the 2 ends together and I stick them both through the hole. And then I take the loop and I pull the ends back through it. And so then you don't have like a bulky knot at the end, and it hangs nicely. So look at how cute that is. So let's put that in our top pocket here, and then you can see those cute little tags hanging out. All right, so then this is going to go in our side pocket. So now when we have it put together like this, you can see the little fibers hang out, and you could put multiple fibers. You could put a couple tags in here. You probably could fit 2 or 3 if you wanted to do something like that. So there we go. Super awesome. So now the next thing I would do is I would get a few different colors of Posca pen out, and I would start doodling. So maybe give it a good shake. If they're brand new, you have to prime them. But really you just come in and start outlining things. So I might outline this shape if I want it to stand out. And I would go through the whole book and do it, you know, and just go, maybe even open the whole book up like this and just kind of go page by page, you know. And I don't necessarily want to outline all of these shapes, but just some of them. So that's kind of fun. And then you can just you could do this while you're sitting watching TV if you wanted. I love doodling and just making marks in my book. It helps to finish the page, and it gives it a little bit more fun and like whimsy look. So here we go, going on this side. And this is white, but you know, you could use whatever color you want. I've got a few colors there that I'm going to play with, so that's good. And then I would work on one side, and then when you're done, then flip it and work on the other side. Okay, so then let's see. I've got, I like this darker, it's like a bluish purple. It's called Prussian blue, but it's really, really beautiful. So maybe I'm going to outline some of these squares. You know, this is mostly mid-tone. It's very pretty, but it's nice to also have a little bit of contrast. Excuse me. So I'm going to come through here and outline some of these squares. You could also, let's say you take your white again, because I'm going to go in some of these plus signs or whatever. You could, like in a block of color, you could do a pattern, you know. So if I wanted to just put a bunch of dots in here, that's a really fun way to doodle and add some more visual interest to what you're doing, and only put it where the actual paint is, you know, inside the block. And I have this collage book. This is from Collage Soup. They have a million different books, and they're all amazing. But it's a really fun way to quickly add some other images into your journal without having to like draw it yourself, or you know, find it online and print it out and do whatever. So maybe find some cool, funky images to add to your book here. I think I picked this book because it's black and white mostly, and ooh, those are interesting. And I think the black and white would look cool against all of that color, because there's so much color going on. A little bit of black and white would be nice. Okay, I'm gonna start with these little guys. Oh my gosh, they're so cute and weird. So strange. I love them. Yeah, so I'm just gonna, I don't love fussy cutting, so I'm gonna do like the most basic fussy cutting that you've ever seen, which is what I like. So I don't want it to be perfect. I want it to look like I just like quickly cut it out of a book. And okay, I have so much great collage material here. I'm very excited. We've got our 3 little guys, and let's place them. So I love this one so much. I think I want it to be near the front here, so it's going to go on that page, and then maybe I'm going to have one over here and right there. Okay, that looks good to me. So yeah, so now I'm just going to stick them down. Okay, I want to add some of these circles as well, so I'm not even going to think about this. I mean, definitely, especially if something like this, you just want to add them. You just add them here and there. Don't think about it. Just whatever feels good in the moment, just do it. Okay. And this is a cool one. It's got like a flower on it. Okay, we need something up here. Let's see. I'm gonna go this way. Maybe part of it's gonna get cut off. That's cool. And I might save some of these for the other side of the book too. Let's go right here against the edge. So now I've got a little bit of black and white on pretty much every page, whether it's a character or a piece of circle. I actually kind of think I want one more circle over here. I don't know, it just feels right. And I want a light one. So there was a dark circle down there. I'm going to put a light circle kind of right up here, and I'll cut off the edge. And I just do all of that at the same time, you know, at one time. The last thing that I thought of that I think would be fun or interesting for you to maybe consider is stamping. Okay. I've got my black StazOn here, jet black. You could use any color, but just remember this is a non-porous surface, so you want to be careful with what type of ink you're using. You definitely want like a solvent ink or something that works on non-porous surfaces. Okay, and so I've just got this fun little circle stamp here, and I want to use it here and there. So I'm just going to stamp here and there, and I don't care if it perfectly stamps, and I don't, you know, I just want to add some like interesting shapes here and there. And if you have a cool stamp that seems fun and seems like something that would be good for your book, then go for it. You know, these are not, you don't have to do all these things, but definitely if something is like, ooh, this is a cool shape and I want to add it, and it is a stamp, then do it. Ooh, I moved a little bit on that one, but that's okay. All right, so just do whatever feels good to you in the moment. Here I even just stamped a little bit over that piece that I collaged in there. That's totally okay. I definitely will be doing more in this book, but this is just a really good start for you, and just something. And look at just adding a little bit of collage and stamping, okay, and see what we've done here, and then compare it to the other side where we haven't done that yet, and look at how much it changes the look and feel of your book, just doing those two simple little things. So definitely get your stamps out, get your collage material out, whatever it is, and start creating your book. Oh, I'm so excited. I hope that you found some inspiration here today and had some fun with me. I hope you created with me. If you like this video, consider subscribing to the channel if you don't already. Hit the like button and maybe leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this, or if you've made one yourself. If you want to learn more about Grafix products, visit graphicarts.com and have a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye-bye.